Well, hey everyone, this is Ben with Backpacks and Brews with another beer review. This is Anchor IPA. I haven't had a lot from Anchor, which is based out in San Francisco. I've had, their California Common Anchor Steam beer. I've had their Old Foghorn Barley wine. I've had their Liberty Ale, and it's always really good quality stuff. But I still don't know that much about the brewery, and I saw this for the first time in my bottle shop, Anchor IPA, and so I figured I'd grab one and check it out. So yeah, one of the things I love about Anchor is just the bottles. I love the shape of the bottles. I think they're definitely really unique. There's a marking on the back that says the number 4 and then UF, and I think that's some sort of code you type in. You find out when it was bottled, etc. As far as what it says about the beer, on here it says it's on the main. On the label here, it says 6.5% alcohol by volume. It talks a little bit about the beer up on the top, and it says that they use made with 2-row barley malt and fresh whole cone hops. Its bright amber color, distinctively complex aroma, spiky bitterness, malty depth, and clean finish unite to create a uniquely flavorful, memorable, and timeless IPA. And it doesn't say, I don't think it says on here what hops they use. They say a little bit on the label up here about the history of the IPA in California during the California Gold Rush. It's pretty cool. I'm not going to read it all to you because it'll probably take a little while, but I like beers that give a little history to understanding why they made this beer, or what inspired the beer. History about the style of beer. I always think that's really cool, and I do like their labeling presentation. Probably my all-time favorite beer labels are from Great Divide in Denver, Colorado. They just have everything on it that you want: alcohol by volume, IBUs. The date is easily seen on there. It has food pairings. It has a description of what it is, and why they named it, what they named it. It's really cool. I like Great Divide. But enough talking about beer labeling. Let's actually see what this beer has to offer. So get it out. Bottle cap and nice little Anchor on it. There's already a lot of car bubbles streaming up, and it's got a little bit of foam. So let's get a pour on this. We'll pour out about just a decent amount, and it's a really clear copper color, almost a reddish hint to it, almost like a red ale kind of red, pretty vibrant. At the bottom of the glass, it's a little lighter in color, but through the thick of the glass, it's definitely a reddish copper color. Really, like I said, really clear. Tons of tiny bubbles streaming up from the top. Lots of carbonation. A nice, off-white, almost tan colored head. Light tan. About a finger and a little bit more than a finger of head. And it looks like it's going to have some nice lacing. Maybe that'll stick around on the glass there. Good looking beer in the glass. Kind of typical of what you see in an IPA. Let's get a nose on this beer here. Okay. Now, one of the first things I get is a strong whiff of caramel malts. Definitely get that 2-row malt. And there's definitely a hop presence, and I like how they put in here, they said spiciness, because that's what I'm picking up, is kind of like a spice, and it is kind of bright, more in the earthiness, more in its herbal qualities than, you know, what's really popular in American IPAs with the citrus, tropical, piney kind of notes. So maybe not as typical West Coast style, but there is a little bit of that citrus that is married with the malt, and so I get kind of bready malts, kind of candy sugar sweetness, and a little bit of earthy hop spice, and some like light orange citrus. So that's kind of what I'm getting from there. Let's give it a taste. Wow, that's quite good. Wow. Okay. There's a lot going on. It is pretty complex. I get one more. So right off the bat, I get some of those bright hops, and it is more of a fruity hop forward right off the bat, which quickly changes, and I get a lot of like bready, yeasty kind of yeastiness, backbone of that malt, and then there's some sweetness that then transfers into the back of the tongue. I get an earthy bitterness, earthy floral herbal kind of bitterness on the back end, that still it lingers, but it's definitely not tongue scraping. It's not rough. It's quite nice. There's a lot going on in this. It is. It's got some really nice lacing. Really pretty. I would consider this to be more of an English style IPA, but it's got some brightness to it. Some complex hop character that I think moves into that more like creative American hopped up category than in just a typical English IPA. All in all, this is a good beer. I would suggest giving this a try for sure. If you are a huge hop head, this one might seem kind of blah and disappointing, but in my opinion, it fills more the role of a pale ale, an American pale ale, with kind of the way things are now. Just everything's so hop forward, and the 6.5% ABV still kind of meets that APA category, typically more than most IPAs that are a little higher up there in the ABV. But I think this is a good beer. I would give this a B straight up. I'd give this an 85. It's a good beer. I can't really find much that's wrong with it. It's just not super exciting. There's some complexities. My palate works my palate a little bit. I've got to figure some things out. But outside of that, it's a good drinking beer, and it is what it is. So yeah, a B straight across. Good beer.